In a partisan Washington, D.C., when the Republican president says, here's our plan, a lot of Republican congressmen, senators, a lot of Republicans around the country saluted and said, okay, he must know something, this must be the plan. In retrospect, if not publicly, among your peers in Congress, what percentage of Republicans in Congress would largely share your worldview, even if they don't exactly say it in CBS interviews?
Well, I can tell you, once President Bush decided to go into Iraq, I thought it was a mistake because we hadn't finished the job in Afghanistan. And I'm just talking about the commitment of resources, not necessarily troops. We needed to help rebuild that society. But once he decided to go in, I felt compelled that the United States, that once our troops were committed, was not defeated and was not shown as a weak power then. So I felt committed to back him up. But I will say that the decision actually to go in retrospect, almost all of us think that that was a horrible mistake to go in with those hundreds of thousands of troops.
Give us a guesstimate percentage of Republicans in Congress who would share that view, not that they opposed the president at the time, but today
now,
looking back going...
Well, now that we know that it cost $1 trillion and all of these years and all of these lives and all of this blood, I don't know many...
Looking for a number. 2/3, 1/3?
I can't. All I can say is the people, everybody I know thinks it was a mistake to go in now.
That's 100%.
And, but knowing the outcome, not to say there weren't ways of dealing with Saddam Hussein. I mean, as I say, we had other alternatives.
I want to get two other numbers here. Sense of a number? What percentage?
What percentage think that
of Republicans in Congress who would agree with the general analysis here that it was a mistake and or we should
go in?
I think everyone would agree Iraq was a mistake.
200%. Okay. We're going to average these. That's
you know, again, I think virtually everyone would agree going into Afghanistan the way we did was a mistake. You know, how many share my cynicism over this idea of a resolution of force, which I can't find anywhere in the Constitution, and how many believe that in those rare cases where we go in, we put all of our resources behind our soldiers? I would say certainly more than half of the Republican caucus probably believes that.
Number?
I will tell you a much more interesting, I think, percentage or meaningful. And I represent a very conservative, very pro-military district, and after I voted, it shocked my district when I voted against the war in Iraq. So about 4 years later, I had a man, a PhD scientist, a very respectable candidate who's now the mayor of one of our cities. He ran against me in the Republican primary entirely on the war. And always, and if I'd had a no name, no money Republican primary opponent, I think they got 8 or 9%. This man got 12.3% in the primary against me. So my percentage among Republicans, and they were the strongest supporters of the war.